What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. We wanted to cover some things that you guys ask us a lot.
Check out our listing. Can you tell me anything that I can fix on my listing?
That I can do better? Why am I not getting bookings? Also wanted to say that we love giving you guys information, but these are our least favorite type of videos to do because
we're not gurus.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how we can build our listing as well. We're right there in the thick of it with you guys. Just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean that we know better than you do.
Yeah.
You know your area, you know your house. We know our house and our area. So everyone's kind of, this fluctuates between where you are at versus where we're at.
Yeah, and we're learning together, but we put together a list of consistent themes when people send us their listing that we see that could be areas that you could improve.
If you only have a direct booking website, you can't just throw your listing out there to the world and pray that people will find it without putting any ads behind it on Google or Facebook, wherever you can. It's not going to happen. So if you're only doing that and not utilizing Vrbo, Airbnb, Booking.com, if your listing is not on anything, utilize those platforms.
The reason that we're telling you guys about this is because we've had a few people reach out to us and their listing was only on their direct booking website. An analogy that I like to think about, if you want to catch fish, you need to go where the fish are.
Fish are friends, not food.
They're not on your direct booking website if you're not putting any, like Kristen was saying, any ad spend behind it. There are millions of people that use these platforms like VRBO and Airbnb, and there are millions of people that use that stuff. So if you're only listing on one site or your own site, you are limiting yourself.
We have 3 sites. So we've got a wider net. It's not as hard to manage because you will notice that a lot of your bookings, the majority will come from one site, and the other 2 are just kind of there to support, and sometimes you'll get bookings on those 2. That's kind of what we're seeing.
Fill in the gaps.
But eyes are seeing your property, right? Because if you are on multiple sites, then at least people will have seen it.
Brand recognition?
Oh, it's brand recognition. It casts a wider net.
Yeah, and this is an obvious one. We just felt like we wanted to include it in there because we have seen some of your guys' listings that you've sent to us.
And sometimes the listings are just the direct booking website. What is this listing for? Who is this listing for?
Yeah. Who do you want to come to your listing? If there are millions of people coming to the city that you're in, why? Is it conventions? Is it business? Is it traveling nurses?
Relaxation.
Get away from the city.
Or like bachelorette party if you're in Nashville or Vegas. You want to cater to those types of things. Michael and I were talking about this before we got on camera. And if you are doing a bachelorette party kind of theme, have shot glasses in the house, have little amenities that cater to women or men in your area, depending on how you've styled the home.
Yeah, make sure that the decor is right for that audience. Essentially, if we wanted to continue on my fishing metaphor.
That might be incredibly effective.
What kind of bait do the fish like that are in the pond? Right? Make sure to give them that bait. If you're looking to get into short-term rentals, or if you already have one and it's not performing like you thought it would, it might be in your best interest to do a little bit of market research and figure out why people are coming to the area, who is coming to the area, and just set your listing up accordingly. If your place is for families staying in the Poconos, make sure you have a pack and play.
Yeah.
Make sure you have toys, books, make sure your house is baby proof. There's not sharp metal corners on tables and stuff like that.
We were at an Airbnb recently and there were 2 chairs that had really big arms on them and really sharp edges, and 2 of the edges had smushed on them these little what would you call them?
They're like rubber protectors.
Yeah. So and we were like, oh, that's perfect because families probably come here and go camping.
It was right at the height of kids' heads.
Yeah.
So it's I could see a kid hitting their head, and that might have happened, and so they put that on there. But just little things that you can do to your property that will attract the right audience.
You don't have to have a ton of stuff. Like Michael said, books and toys. Even if you have a book, a children's book or 2 children's books, or that shows the customer that you care even a little bit, even if it was something super cheap.
Yeah, and that might be the difference between your listing getting booked and not getting booked. Another thing on this topic that I wanted to touch on is the way that your listing description is set up. So if you are going to cater to a certain audience, make sure that the description reflects that, and the title, the description about your home, because like we are set up for an escape from the city, relaxation, couples, you know, tranquility. So if you read the description on our listing across VRBO, our website, and all that stuff, there are keywords that will make you feel that way. So if you are set up, like Kristen was saying, for a bachelorette party, you might want to say like the perfect crash pad for girls' trips, you know, like keywords that will help you find the right audience and connect with them.
Another thing we would suggest is going on some of these sites and looking at homes in the area that your short-term rental is in.
As if you are going to book a property.
Exactly. Or even book a property. Michael and I stayed in Joshua Tree before we purchased a home. We wanted to see what this person did with their Airbnb, what the area was like. We really wanted to get a feel for the other side of things, because I think as hosts we lose touch of that and what the customer is experiencing. So that's really important. And also you can see how people take their photos and write their listings, like we were just saying, comparing and contrasting.
So go ahead and do a search on Airbnb, VRBO, see what's out there, see the homes that are getting booked, and then take note of what their first photo is. Like, what is it, outside? Is it inside? Is it daytime? Is it, you know, sunset? You know, like what amenities are they showing in their photos? Somebody once told me the top companies in the world spend millions of dollars on market research. If we apply that to this, you can look at homes that are already performing well, take note of what they are doing and why it's working, and then you can apply it to your own listing with descriptions, title of the property, why is this property performing well? Well, is it their first photo?
Yeah.
Is it what they're saying in their description? Is it a certain amenity? If you want to stay competitive in the market, that is something that we did setting up our listing.
Yeah, we just tried to emulate photos of certain listings that we loved and we felt compelled to stay at.
Yeah.
We were like, what is it about it? Is it a moody lighting? Like what kind of photographer can we book? Not just the cheapest photographer. Sometimes you've got to spend a little more so then you can make a little more, because then the photos will give you that feel. Just seeing them right there, that first photo on the page will draw someone in and book your place.
Yeah.
And that was something we did. We had our photos and we brought up photos of listings we liked and tried to edit them in the same style.
Yeah. That brings up a good point. We made like a Pinterest board of the homes that we loved from, you know, not just like in Phoenix, Tucson, some places in Marfa, Texas that we found that we loved, and we're like, oh my gosh, what are these listings? Why did these listings capture our attention? How can we engage the same audience, you know, that we like? And so we just put them up side by side on the screen. Because if you think that your listing is good but you're not getting booked, take your listing side by side on the screen with one that you really like that is performing well, you know, same bedroom, same bath, and then just look. And it's pretty glaring when you put yours next to, like, we noticed a lot of things.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my gosh, our photos were not what we thought they were.
And you know what you can do too? Something like if you choose a photographer that maybe is less expensive but willing to like try things. We had one of our friends had a photographer who didn't do any photos like they wanted in the style and the color scheme that they liked, but they sent them examples, and those photographers were able to edit them at least a little bit more like what they liked and catered to that. So that is possible. Michael and I are able to edit our own photos, but that's because we know Photoshop and Lightroom. A lot of people don't, and you'll have to rely on your photographer. But it is possible if you have the Pinterest board and you have just very obvious examples for the people.
These are things that have helped us over the last, you know, year or two getting our listing to the place where we're getting booked consistently. And like we said, these are not our favorite types of videos to do. We love actually doing things and showing you guys like what we do. Sitting down and talking to a camera is just like,
it's all right.
It's all right.
It's not our favorite, but you guys want to know all of these things. And
Yeah.
so we're going to do some financial breakdowns in the future of like projects we've worked on. People have asked about the patio project and how much that cost, things like that. We'll do these every once in a while, but vlogging is just so much more natural for us.
We would rather not catch fish for you. We'd rather teach you how to fish so that you can do it for yourself.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Don't teach a man to fish and you feed yourself. He's a grown man. Fishing's not that hard.
Can you check out my listing? Like, do you think it's good? And it's like, your
Do
list.
you?
Yeah, do you
like it?
Like, when you put it side by side with other listings, can it compete? So that's just, today's title should be Fishing with Michael and Kristen. Thanks for watching. If you are new to our channel,
We are Kristen and Michael, and we renovated our house in July of 2021 ourselves, DIYers, baby. And we got our listing live in November of 2021. Have been super hosts ever since on Airbnb. We're on Vrbo. We have our own direct booking website. And we just shot a pilot for a TV show. You can watch that. The link is down below.
yeah.
Shameless plug.
We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up on the channel, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned because you won't want to miss this next project that we are going to embark on in the middle of summer, which is going to be hot.
It's 105 degrees.
Yeah.
It's so freaking hot.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Keep on fishing.
It's a fishing joke. 25 fishing jokes. What kind of music should you listen to while fishing? Something catchy.
Okay, why is it so easy to weigh a fish?
Why?
Because they have scales.
Oh. I should have known that. Why didn't Noah do much fishing on the ark?
He only had 2 worms.
Damn. How'd you know?
It's right on my screen. I think we clicked on the same website. Today's title should be Fishing with Michael and Kristen. Short-term rentals are like fishing.
We're not fishers.
I fish.
You fished.
Fished.
It's past tense.
Caught a fish.